How's it going, everyone? College Lefty, and in this video I'm going to be predicting the entire wildcard postseason program, so let's go ahead and get right into it. If we look at the updated schedule, it lists on October 8th we're going to get the wildcard program featuring the first postseason flashbacks of 2021. So I want to talk a little bit about my thoughts, kind of what I expect to see, and I'll go ahead and make some predictions on some players. I'll make some predictions for the game tonight as well. First, I want to talk about the postseason content that we had in last year's game. We got this 99 overall Corey Seager featured in the World Series program. And we also had a lot of other postseason players that were released. We had one flashback as well. And I think the program will look a little bit different this year. I'll talk a little bit about that later. We also had a few choice packs that were included in the postseason program from last year. And this could be, a variety of players. It's similar to the Tops Now program and those packs that we have already in this year's game. But if we take a look at the players that we had in last year's game, they did increase in overall from the Division Series matchup leading into the Championship Series matchup. The players are starting to get a little bit better, but I would expect SDS to juice these wild card players up a little bit. The cards that we get for this wild card program, I think because all the other cards in the game are boosted up, I think you almost have to boost these cards up. I mean, why not? It is the postseason. We want to see some juice content. I would also expect to see at least one flashback player. We got the Steve Pearce. This is a card from MLB The Show 18. We got it back into MLB The Show 20. And I don't know. I'm thinking about a few different players that come to mind. And we'll get into that a little bit later. But as far as the program goes, I think it might be 4 separate programs. The Wild Card, the Division Series, the Championship Series, and the World Series. We could also see something similar to the Evolution program where we have 4 stages that are locked, where we have only the wild card unlocked starting on the 8th, and then once the Division Series takes place, they release that program and that stage unlocks. Once the Championship Series takes place, then they release that stage, something similar to what this Evolution program looks like, but that might be too confusing. I know a lot of people are going to be playing this game again because of the MLB postseason. Some people might also buy the game for the first time because they're watching the playoffs on TV or they're getting involved with it. But I think that might be a little bit too confusing. The stages and the lock stages. I think if they released 4 separate programs, I think that might be a little bit easier to navigate through. But either way, the program should be pretty solid all around. I think we're going to get a lot of great players. One player we could see is Giancarlo Stanton. I think that might be the only Yankees player, at least for the wild card game. I guess they could give a card to Anthony Rizzo. I mean, he already has one. So does Giancarlo Stanton, but he was the guy that really performed well in the game last night. But if we got a Stanton that looks like this, I think that would be pretty good with the parallel system. I know he didn't hit, a bunch of home runs, and he had a lot more home runs during last year's postseason. They played a lot more games as well, but with the parallel system, that Stanton would be pretty good. Maybe his best card is a 96 with those contact attributes against right. But Alex Verdugo would be a great option for the Red Sox. I actually played against that guy. Played against Alex Verdugo in high school. He's a really good player, obviously. He's on the Red Sox right now. But another card we could see is Nathan Eovaldi. This card could get upgraded. And we might see, mid-90s overall. Nathan Eovaldi, that might be pretty solid. Tanner Hook. I don't know how to say this guy's last name, to be honest with you. But we're going with Tanner Hook, and this card might be pretty good. I think you could get a relief pitching card with increased stamina. He pitched a really solid 8th inning last night. A couple strikeouts. He does have 99 break. I think this would be a pretty solid relief pitcher. I don't know if they will go with that, but I figured I'd throw him on there. Reggie Jackson could get an upgraded card as well within this program. Hit 3 home runs in the World Series game, so I might be a little bit early with my prediction for a wild card type of player, but who knows? Maybe a milestone, 3 home runs in 1 postseason game for the wild card series because the Yankees didn't really perform that well. I mean, how many players are they going to get when Stanton carried the team? Up next, we have Albert Pujols. I really hope he does well against his former team tonight in the wild card game. I think that would be awesome to see. I think it would also be pretty funny if we got a Dodgers Albert Pujols that was better than this Cardinals version at like a 97 or 98 overall that just had a little bit better stats. I think that would be pretty funny to see. I'm kind of hoping at some point Pujols gets an upgraded card anyway. It could be during this program, but a more realistic option would obviously be Corey Seager. Postseason Corey Seager is just different. He plays really well. This live series card was one of my favorite lower overall diamond cards at the beginning of the game cycle. I really love how this card plays in MLB, and I also enjoy watching him play for real. I'm definitely going to watch the Dodgers play the Cardinals tonight. I hope we get a card that looks something similar to this. That was definitely one of my better left-handed hitters in MLB The Show 20. I don't really know if we're going to get 99 overall players within this wildcard program, but I kind of hope we get at least one. I think these players will be at a 96 to 97, maybe 98 overall range. I know Walker Buehler is not starting the game tonight, but I have a feeling the Dodgers will open up with Max Scherzer, obviously, and then Julio Urias will come into the game, and then Walker Buehler might close it out. I think they might go to Walker Buehler over Kenley Jansen. In terms of the Cardinals players, I hope we see a Nolan Arenado card. I would expect Nolan Arenado to play extremely well tonight. He might even hit a home run. I just think this guy is a clutch big game player. He hasn't really played in the postseason because he's been on the Rockies, and now he's got a chance. I really just think he steps up. He might even take Max Scherzer deep, but another player that could do really well is Paul Goldschmidt. I mean, that's no real prediction, though. Those are two of the better players the Cardinals have. They recently got a couple of diamonds upgraded with the most recent roster update, but at the same time, they just got the Tyler O'Neill. I don't think we'll see a Kyle Schwarber for the same reason. You know, I know I'm kind of going back to the Red Sox game, but both Schwarber and Tyler O'Neill have those Lightning players, so I don't think they'll really get a card in this program. One player to look out for is Genesis Cabrera. This card could be very good, especially if he pitches deep into the game in relief. Increase his stamina a little bit, potentially give him the outlier quirk, maybe a sinker even. Just juice that card up if he does well. I think he's got a good chance to pitch in relief after Adam Wainwright. But just going back to the program, I would expect to see, 4 separate programs, potentially locked with these stages, but I don't think so. It's just something I was thinking about. And I'm just excited about this. I think the postseason program's some of the best content that we'll get in MLB The Show. I think it's always a lot of fun because, postseason baseball is just incredible. It's the best time to watch baseball throughout the entire year, obviously. A winner-take-all game is amazing. That's amazing for the sport. I love it. I'm excited for the game tonight. We'll go ahead and end it right there. We'll see what we get on the updated schedule next time around because that will help us with further information, as well as once the 8th hits, we'll know a little bit more about the setup for this program. But that's going to do it for this video. I'm College Lefty, and peace out.